Tonight's story, The Editor Regrets, concerns Bingo Little, the husband of best-selling novelist Rosie M. Banks, and editorial force behind We Tots, that popular and influential journal which has done so much to mould thought in the nursery and has now led to a sort of literary renaissance at the Drones Club.
Here we go then, fine. Yeah.
Great stuff, Bingo! Go! There you are, Bingo. Top. Cast the optics over this for size.
What's this, Elbean?
It's my first column of racing notes for that magazine of yours. See? Straight from the stable by Stilton Cheesewright.
Yes, I'm sorry, Stilton, old egg, but my magazine, We Tots, is for the under-sevens. We don't use racing correspondence. The proprietor wouldn't like it. Sorry, Pongo. No, I don't think he'd be any keener on Guide to London nightclubs. And as for your scheme, Barmy, of a roving reporter sending chit-chat from the Riviera, I hardly think he'd go for that. In fact, I don't think he'd be too keen on any outside contributions, but keep trying, my dear Crumpets. Do keep trying. Hello.
Well, I thought that was pretty sordid. I mean, all those bozos trying to cash in on your acquaintance. Disgusting.
Oh, I don't mind, Terry. It's what we editors call an occupational hazard. I'd like to do more for them, but you know what it's like.
Of course. They should realise you're only what the Russian Johnnies call a tool of the bosses.
A what?
Or boss, in this case. They should just understand that with that proprietor of yours, you can't call your soul, let alone your magazine, your own.
Well, hang on a second, Toppy. Old Perkins may have one or two things to say about policy, but I'm still the editor of We Tots.
Ah. Well, in that case, perhaps you'd care to glance at this piece I've thrown together on little-known copies.
Well, I'd give it the once-over, Toppy, but I'll have to show it to the proprietor. Out of courtesy, of course, and he might feel, we both might feel that little-known cocktails is not quite... Good Lord, is that the time? I really must be going. I'm in the middle of a rather thoughtful editorial on what helpful girlies can do to help Mummy. So I'll... the printers are waiting with bated breath, so I'll just say tinkety-tonk for now. Toppy, old top. Bye-bye.
And what was all that about, young Glossop? How come he accepted your article and not ours?
Because I called his bluff on that proprietor of his.
You mean to say he hasn't got one?
Oh, he's got one, all right. P.P. Perkins. But I happen to know that Perkins has been over in New York for the past 2 weeks. And being in sole charge, I rather think has just gone to old Bingo's brain. Such as it is.
And made him drunk with power.
Exactly. Yes, he's riding for a fall that will jar that complacent trouser seat of his clean out of the editorial chair, never to return.
And here's another tip for tiny, helpful girlies. Gladys, how many times have I told her not to interrupt me when I'm dictating editorials?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Little, but there's a Miss Jobson wants to talk to you on the telephone.
Oh, she does she? Well, tell her to write. I don't have time to chat to casual callers. Sorry, Gladys. Thank you, Gladys. Tiny girlies, did you know that Mummy's grubby old diamonds can be brought up fresh and sparkling by soaking them overnight in a basin of gin? Mummy will get a lovely surprise and probably think the pixies did it. Well, Mr. Perkins, so you're back then?
Clearly, Little, clearly. Well, how are things?
Oh, fine, Mr. Perkins. Couldn't be better. You could eat your dinner off them. Yes, steady hand at the tiller. What still, we're glad to see you back, sir, looking fit and bronzed. Had a good trip, sir?
Very rewarding on the whole, thank you, Little. And by the way, Miss Jobson will be telephoning shortly.
Job. Already phoned, sir.
Ah, no problems, of course.
No problems at all, sir. I soon gave her the air.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, busy. Far too busy to talk to females. I told her to write, stating the requirements legibly on one side of the paper only.
You idiot! You lunatic!
How do you mean exactly, sir?
You drivelling imbecile! You drooling half-wit! You cloth-headed incompetent! You addle-brained illiterate!
Sir, before we descend into personalities, I'd like to take it I've created something of a floater.
A floater? Listen, Little.
Bella Mae Jobson is the all-time best-selling children's author in North America.
Ah.
She is the creator of Willie the Walrus, of Arnold the Aardvark,
Arnold.
of Iris Iguana, and above all, of Charlie Chipmunk, who alone sells in his millions. I was fortunate enough to meet Miss Jobson on my return voyage. She lent me Charlie Chipmunk up the Orinoco. A masterpiece, little.
Well, I'll put it on the library list, sir.
I knew at a glance that here was the circulation-building stuff Wee Tots has been waiting for. I entered into tentative negotiations with her for her entire output, and I asked her, when she arrived in London, to call at this office and fix things up with my editor. Oh, God's gift to the nursery, gone forever. You realize what this means, little?
No, not exactly, sir, no.
It's ruin.
Oh, come on, sir. Things can't be as bad as that, and I'd like you to know when things get tough, you can always rely on me, sir.
Oh, no. No, I can't.
Why not, sir?
Because you're fired.
Excuse me, sir, it's a Mr. Glossop.
What is?
This is. Sorry to butt in, old bean. Wondered if you'd had time to consider that article of mine yet.
No, sorry, Tuppy. No, my opinion is pretty academic anyway. I've just got the bullet.
Sacked? Oh, no. I thought I heard raised voices. What happened?
Well, apparently, old man, he met some hot property on the way back from America. He sent her to see me. I gave her the old raspberry, so he's handed me the lemon.
Oh, bingo. I knew that high-handed attitude of yours would lead to tears before bedtime.
Well, how was I to know this Beazle Jobson was supposed to be given the old oil and made to feel among friends and admirers?
Jobson?
Yes, apparently the Edgar Wallace of the playpen sort of thing.
But that's Bella Mae Jobson. Golly, bingo, even I've heard of her. And you gave her the old heave-ho. Well, there go your dreams of glory. Not to mention the old regular stipend.
Yes, well, it's not that that worries me. It's the thought of what Rosie will say.
Mrs. Bingo, but I thought you were 100% turtle doves.
Oh, we are. Yes, but any male turtle dove will tell you that given the right conditions, a female turtle dove can turn herself into a killer ostrich in very short notice. You see, it was she who got me this job in the first place. When she finds out that I've lost it through a slight misjudgment...
Sheer fat-headedness.
Sheer fat-headedness, as she might well put it. She may well have one or two things to say about it. The only bit of goose that presents itself is that she's away in the country at the moment visiting friends.
So you can postpone springing the evil tidings, but eventually the hour of springing must come, and then... What you need is something to distract your mind. Listen, I know where there's a bottle party tonight. Why don't you come, It'll take you out of yourself.
Not a bad place to be.
Hi there.
Hello.
You look lonely.
Oh,
I'm Bella.
I'm Bingo.
On this stuff?
Oh, no, that's my name, Bingo. Little goes with it if you want the whole thing.
Hey, little Bingo. That's cute.
Well, if you say so. Can I get you another drink?
Oh, that's real nice of you. Thanks a lot, little Bingo.
Well, making amends, old egg?
Amends?
Don't tell me you don't know Bella Mae Jobson.
Well, the old chipmunk fancier. No, I never got to meet her.
Hey, you're meeting her now.
That's Bella Mae Jobson.
Yes, and you're going like a breeze, I'd say.
Yes, and there's no reason why it shouldn't turn into a small tornado, Tuppy. Yes, all I have to do is play her like a stringed instrument. She'll be putty in my hands.
You can't play a stringed instrument with putty.
You watch me, Tuppy. So sorry to keep you waiting. Little literary matter. A friend of mine's going over to America, and I've asked him to bring me back a book I've been trying to get hold of. Charlie Chipmunk's latest.
Charlie Chipmunk at the Orinoco?
Oh, you've heard of it. What a book. Well, what a writer. I mean, such soul, such depth of understanding.
Oh, you like the way Miss Jobson writes?
Like it, may I tell you, I consider Miss Jobson the greatest authority on animals since Charles Darwin. I mean, she really gets inside the skin of those animals, so much so that whenever I'm feeling lonely, all I have to do is to curl up on a sofa with Willy Walrus. And it's not just Willy Walrus, there's Arnold the Aardvark.
Iris the Iguana?
Oh, you've read them.
Honey, I wrote them.
You wrote them?
Are you trying to tell me that you didn't know?
Bella May Jobson, yes, of course. Good Lord. My dear lady, this is indeed a great honor. You see, what threw me was finding a beautiful and talented creature like you at a mere bottle party.
Well, Sugar, I'll tell you. You see, I just accept all the invitations I get because I haven't any friends in London. I spoke to you first because I thought you looked just as lonely as little old Bella May feels in this big, strange city.
Well, that's a state of affairs that can soon be remedied for both of us. As of now, I'm going to show you London as it's never been seen before.
Gee, that'll be peachy.
Charleston, everybody!
Hey, do you shake a toe, little Bingo?
Valentino took lesson.
Well, move over, Nazimola. Don't you think?
Yes, I'm only sorry it's to be our last
Oh,
one.
me too, Sugar, but it can't be helped. I have to sail for home the day after tomorrow, and I've got a million things to do first.
Well, in that case, perhaps you ought to have this. It's the farewell present you asked me for.
Your photograph? Oh! Oh, gee, sweetie, that's great. Oh, to the one and only Bella May, from her adoring admirer, Little Bingo. I just love that name. Oh, gee, thanks a million, Sugar. This is going right in the middle of my mantelpiece. And now, that is the last thing that you are going to buy me.
What about lunch tomorrow?
No, sirree, Bob. Now, look. Since we met, apart from showing me your zoo, your Tower of London, and your National Gallery, you have taken me to 3 matinees, 4 movies, 2 dinners, 5 lunches, 6 tete ensembles.
And a whelk stall.
And a whelk stall! I love that whelk stall. You have given me 6 bunches of roses, 7 boxes of chocolates, 2 bunches of white heather, and now this photograph. Well, it's my turn to buy back. Tomorrow, I am giving a swell luncheon party in my hotel suite, and who is going to be the guest of honor? Little Bingo! Tell me that you'll come.
Oh, with a hey, nonny, nonny.
Attaboy. Now, I have got a dreary old dinner date, so I'll just go powder my nose. Then you can take me back to my hotel to change. I'll see you later, honey.
Need any more money, Bingo?
No, thanks, Choppy. I think I've got enough for the taxi. It's awfully good of you helping to finance this whole project. I'd never have done it without you, Tuppy.
Bingo, Bingo, have we not been friends since we were in sailor suits? Have I not frequently shared my last acid drop with you?
You'll get your reward, Tuppy, unto half my kingdom, which should be pretty sizable as of tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's the big push, is it?
Yeah, well, she's throwing a luncheon party in my honour. At the end of which time I confidently expect to be able to buy her dreadful books on easy terms. Old man Perkis will issue a reprieve at the foot of the scaffold, leaving Bingo Little once more a force to be reckoned with in the perambulator trade. So, if you'd just like to leave your manuscript at the office tomorrow afternoon, I'll whip that in as a bonus.
Sounds like a good scenario.
Yes, there's only one small cloud on the horizon. Rosie's coming back from the country a bit early this evening.
Will that make any difference?
I shouldn't think so. It's just cutting it a bit fine, that's all.
Little Bingo! Bingo!
Oh, greetings, moon of my delight.
Oh, how lovely to see you.
Oh, you too, queen of my soul. Oh, this is fine. This is great. This is terrific. And such a surprise. I thought you were spending rather longer in the provinces.
What, to miss our wedding anniversary? You haven't forgotten that tomorrow is our wedding anniversary?
Me, I should say not. I've been counting off the days on the old calendar.
So have I, sweetheart. Bingo?
And you thought I'd forgotten your anniversary. And the other big present's back at the office.
Oh, that's all right. I'm coming to town tomorrow anyway. So we can have lunch together.
Lunch tomorrow?
At the dear little restaurant near Charing Cross where we had our wedding breakfast. We can pretend that we've just been married. Won't it be fun?
Oh, terrific.
Only, of course, it won't be quite the same, because when we got married, you didn't have an important job to hurry back to.
No.
How is everything at the office, by the way?
Oh, fine.
And Mr. Perkis is still pleased with your work?
Well, yes, indeed. He's fascinated. Only the other day he was telling me I had a lot of individual qualities. In fact, things are going so well that I'm going to have to get into the office first thing in the morning, you know, to sort one or two things out.
All right, if I leave this article with you now, old top?
Sorry, Tuppy. Comes under the heading of counted but unhatched chickens.
What? What's happened?
Well, you know, Rosie's back.
Yeah.
Apparently today's our wedding anniversary and she wants me to take her to lunch.
Oh, Lord. What are you going to do?
Well, I've been giving it my earnest consideration for the best part of 2 dry martinis. I keep asking myself what Napoleon would have done. So far, I'm not getting many replies.
Suppose you might have asked Josephine to dinner instead.
Tuppy, that is almost an idea. Gladys, get Mrs. Little on the phone at home, would you? Thank you so much, Gladys. Yes, I'll take that now, Tuppy. I might well be able to place it.
Oh, thanks, old egg. So you're going to switch Mrs. Bingo to dinner, are you?
No, she is. All it needs is a little tact and finesse. Hello, darling.
Oh, hello, Angel. Hello, sweetie pie.
I say, light of my life, rather an awkward thing's happened, and I'd rather like your advice on how to act for the best. It seems there's the most important litterateurs. We're anxious to land for the old sheet, and the question's arisen of my having to take her to lunch.
Oh, Bingo.
Now, my immediate inclination is to tell her to go to blazes.
Oh, no, Bingo, you mustn't do that.
Yes, I think I shall. Yes, nuts to you, litterateurs, I shall say.
No, Bingo, please. Well, of course you must take her to lunch.
But what about our binge?
Well, perhaps we could have dinner instead.
Dinner? Now there's an idea. There, I think you've rather got something.
Dinner will be just as good.
Oh, better, more suited to the old unbridled revelry.
You won't have to hurry back after dinner. We can go to the theatre and supper afterward.
Absolutely, that's the exact programme as I see it.
And as a matter of fact, it's rather convenient, because now I'll be able to go to Miss Jobson's luncheon after all.
Miss Miss who's luncheon night?
Jobson. Oh, you wouldn't know her. An American writer named Bella May Jobson.
Mrs. Perkins phoned up a little while ago and said she was going and could I come?
Because Miss Jobson's long been an admirer of my novels.
Well, of course, I refused.
You refused, did you, darling?
But it's all right now. I'll be able to go.
She sails tomorrow, so this will be our last chance of meeting.
Well, goodbye, Poppet. Mustn't keep you from work any longer.
Bye, Angel.
I say, Bingo, old corpse, you look a bit blue round the rims.
Can you imagine the scene when Bella introduces me to my wife? Oh, little Bingo, do you know Rosie M. Banks? And I say, well, of course, only by marriage. There's only one thing for it. Gladys, take a telegram, would you? Jobson, Smith's Hotel, West 1. Deeply regret sudden illness, unable to attend lunch. Please forgive little Bingo. No, that is the right way around, Gladys. Get it off straight away, would you?
Hard luck, old fruit.
Can you imagine, after all the time and money I've put in?
Who's put in?
We've put in.
Who's put in?
You've put it. You've put in. The chocolates, theatre tickets, flowers. I mean, a photograph didn't cost. Photograph.
You gave her your photograph?
My signed photograph. Tuppy, it's in the middle of her mantel shelf. When Rosie walks in and sees that photo... Well, of course, she may drop the subject round about the afternoon of our golden wedding anniversary.
Signed in rather cordial terms, was it?
I rather spread myself, Tuppy. And for an honourable married man to have signed a photograph in such terms, there's only one way out.
What's that?
To go and pinch the blithering thing back.
Oh, who's Mama's little pet? Come on, then. Come on. Let's go walking. Come on.
Oh, good afternoon. Miss, official press covering this afternoon's lunch.
I'm the official photographer for the luncheon this afternoon. Popsy? Popsy? Are you in here? Popsy? Mr. Little!
What are you doing here, sir?
I'm lunching with Miss Jobson.
Ah, you're a bit early, aren't we?
Yes, a little. I thought I'd take her Pekingese for a walk.
Which Pekingese is that, Perkins?
Popsy.
Popsy, yes, indeed. Thin story, Perkins. Should you wish to improve it, I'll be round the corner at my club.
Oh, Mr. Little!
Didn't you get it?
The photograph, yes. For all the good it'll do me. I'm still deep in the mulligatawny and beginning to sink without trace. It seems that not only Rosie, but Perkis will be at that lunch this afternoon. You know what that means? I mean, can you imagine the scene?
Well, if that isn't the funniest thing.
Hello, I'm Rosie M. Banks.
Oh, hi, Miss Banks. I just love your books. Do you know Mr. Perkins?
Oh, I should say so. He owns the paper my husband's editor of.
Oh, you're married then?
Oh, rather. Name of Little.
Little? Little? That's odd. I know a bird named Little. In fact, to say no is understating it rather. He's been giving me the rush of a lifetime. Bingo, mine calls himself. Some relative, perhaps?
Bingo. Bingo. What luck finding you here. Is this where you're lunching with your writer? What an amazing coincidence.
Yes, isn't it?
Oh, excuse us a moment, Tuppy. Yes. Now, listen very carefully,
Yes,
darling. I can't stay long. I've got to rush back. Mrs. Perkins was in a terrible state when I went to collect her. Apparently, her dog's been lost. So I just came here to tell Miss Jobson that we won't be able to lunch.
You won't be able to lunch.
No, Mrs. Perkins wants me with her. She's gone to bed with a hot water bottle. So would you be an angel and ring Miss Jobson up and explain? Then I can hurry off.
Oh, of
course, of course, of course. Yes, a simple task. Brightest jewel of my diadem.
Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Angel. Tuppy, I've known nothing like that since my headmaster ripped a muscle in his shoulder in the very act of bringing the cane down to fetch me a juicy one. I think this calls for a couple of drinks at the club. Come on, Elspot.
Mr. Little, may I have a word with you in private? Excuse me.
Yes. Excuse me, Tuppy, yes.
Mr. Little, you are in a position to do me a great kindness.
A kindness, Perkins, to a man who has called me at least 6 offensive names.
I am faced with a disaster so appalling that the mind reels at the thought of it. Any moment now, my wife will be arriving at the hotel. We are lunching with Miss Jobson. Now, I appeal to you, Mr. Little. You know my wife. With your vast experience as a story editor, will you think up some story and go to the hotel and intercept her?
Yes, I'm getting a bit fog-bound, Perkins. Could you explain the whole thing from the start?
Well, I had supposed this luncheon was to be for Miss Jobson and myself alone. I have just concluded negotiations for the publication of her works. But the point is that in order to secure this material, I was compelled to... Oh, how shall I put it?
Give her the old oil.
Precisely. That's exactly what I did. I thought that any means would justify the ends.
Yes, Perkins, I've no wish to condemn you unheard. But this all begins to sound a bit French. Tell me, did you kiss her?
Oh, no, certainly not. Our relationship was conducted with the utmost circumspection. But I took her to the British Museum, to Madame Tussauds, and a matinee at Sadler's Wells. And then, when I saw that she was weakening, I gave her my wife's Pekingese.
You gave her your wife's Pekingese?
Yes. She admired the animal when she was visiting our house. I smuggled it out in a hat box when I left home this morning. I took it to the hotel. 10 minutes later, she'd signed the contract. An hour later, she telephoned to tell me that she'd invited my wife to lunch. Well, I hastened to the hotel in the hope of purloining the animal, but it was not to be. Oh, consider my position, Mr. Little. What can I do when my wife arrives at Miss Jobson's suite and finds her in possession of her Pekingese? Oh, what will be the harvest of this? But why are we wasting time? While we sit here talking, she may be arriving. Your post is at the hotel. Fly, Mr. Little, fly.
Perkins, it's all very well to say fly, but the point is, what's in it for me? I mean, it's true, I've already thought of a pippin of a story that can't fail to head Mrs. Perkins off. But why should I bother? Of course, things would be different if I were continuing as editor of We Tots.
You are, Mr. Little, you are.
At a considerably increased salary.
It shall be doubled.
Then, Mr. Perkins, set your mind at rest. Mrs. Perkins will not be at the lunch today. Well, what do you say?
Well done, Bingo.
Thanks, Tuffy.
Congratulations, old bean.
Come on, Gary.